Welcome to part 2 of our black and white lesson, and in this lesson we're going to have a look at how the hue saturation adjustment layer lets us create a black and white image, and we can also tweak specific areas to lighten or darken them using hue saturation. Let me just show you what we're going to end up with by turning on one of my hue saturation adjustment layers, and you can see we've got a monochrome version of the shot. And if I click here, you can see we've got a variety of sliders to let us change lightness and also saturation in the image. I'll show you how those work in just a sec, but I also want to show you the levels adjustment layer because that adjusts the strength of the shadows, midtones and highlights. And what we've got now is a higher contrast scene where we're bringing out the shapes and textures of our photograph. We can now see more contrast between this lightest part here and the darkest parts in the background. Let me turn the levels off. A little bit more low contrast, and then turn the color back on by hiding the hue saturation adjustment layer. So there's quite a lot to play with there, but it's also fairly straightforward to use, and I'll show you that from scratch just by closing my start images. So let's kick off by opening Part 02 before. I'm just dragging it in from the disk there. You could always go to File, Open and browse to Part 02 before, and when you open it up, it may open up in the Camera Raw editor because Elements can actually open TIFFs and JPEGs in Camera Raw, but we actually want to click Open Image to view it in the standard Photoshop editor. Next thing to do is just go to Image, Rotate and choose 90 degrees left just to get it from Portrait to Landscape, and if it's not showing up in the whole window like so, grab the Zoom tool and then just right click and choose Fit on Screen like so. If you then click up here and choose this option, which is Consolidate All, it will place it in a nice neutral grey background. It's always worth having the Layers palette open, especially as we need adjustment layers, so go to Window and choose Layers if you can't see the Layers palette like so. You can also drag the palette from the palette bin so it's floating in the main window. Now, in our previous video we converted the shot to black and white by throwing away all the color information and changing the range of tones, and we can do a similar thing using adjustment layers, but you've got more control and you can actually target individual colors and lighten or darken them in the black and white version. Let me show you what I mean by clicking here, choosing hue saturation, and you get this window floating like so. Now the cool thing is you can dock that to the bottom of the layers palette. It turns blue when they're connected, and then you can move these around to get them floating wherever you like. Now all we need to do is to drag saturation down to the left, make sure that the setting up here is set on master, and that means it's altering all of the colors equally. So drag that down, and that's very similar to desaturating it using some of the menu commands in here, like remove color for example. Now, one of the cool things about adjustment layers is they're non-destructive. It's floating above my main layer. If I turn it off, you can see we've got the original colors there, so there's no danger in making a huge mistake that we can't undo with a click. And we can even trash the adjustment layer by dragging it to the trash can and start again. But we can also tweak individual color sliders by going from here and choosing something like yellows. Now I know there's a yellow in there because if I turn this off, you can see there's some warm red and yellows to the guitar. So I can make these stand out more by taking the lightness slider and dragging that for the yellows to the right, and you can see it's just lining up some of these grayscale versions. There's some reds in there too, so click on reds and let's lighten or darken the reds depending on what we want to actually stand out. If we go to darken, that makes this area here stand out more, but if we go to a lightness and just increase the value, then we get more of this detail showing up and contrasting with the darker background. Now this ability to target individual colors and lighten or darken them mimics the old school technique of shooting with black and white film and popping colored filters over the lens to bring out details in a shot. For example, you might have a blue sky and you might want the white clouds to stand out even more, and to do that with a black and white version you can darken those blue areas. And you can do the same with sliders here. If you go to blues and drag the lightness all the way to the left, you would darken the blue sky in your Photoshop image. So this is a really powerful technique, and you can really draw attention to anything in a black and white print by lightening or darkening its colors accordingly in the grayscale version of the shot. So there's our monochrome shot, but the other cool thing about adjustment layers is you can build on them and have layers of them. And let's do that by going to here. We're going to create a higher contrast image using a levels adjustment layer, and that sits on top of the layer stack, and here we have shadow sliders, midtone sliders and highlight sliders. So for brighter highlights, just drag this one here to the left, and you can see that the whites here are getting whiter Let me turn that off so you can see the before and the after, and that just gives us a little bit of a higher contrast and makes the image stand out even more. We can darken the shadows in the background by dragging the shadow slider to the right, and that gives us a slightly darker, blacker shadow. Again, there's the before, there's the after. We can try lightening those midtones by taking this slider here, the midtone slider. If we take that to the left, that gently brightens the midtones, and we've fine-tuned the contrast of our shot. And now we can see the texture and detail of our guitar in a much more clear way than having simply desaturated the shot and have bland greys. We've now got some blacks, some greys, and some whites. Coming up in part 3 of our monochrome video lesson, we're going to look at how to get better mono skin tones.